there's a really good chance you're making one of these 6 very common mistakes on your freelance writing website. And if you are, you got problems, son. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Before we get into it, please do me a favor and click the thumbs up button and subscribe. Now that that's out of the way, your freelance writing website. I can't think of anything that we agonize over more than our websites, because we're not web designers, we're writers. But your website doesn't need to be anything super fancy or expensive, but there are a few key things that you really can't screw up because they're just going to be a huge turnoff to clients. The first is that they treat it as something personal and not professional. This is really important. Your freelance writing website is not your personal blog. It is the website reflecting you as a professional and your business, so you need to treat it like that. Your website should highlight your experiences as a professional, your testimonials, case studies, samples. The one place where it's okay to talk a little bit about yourself on a more personal level is the About Me page. If you want to tell people that you're married or you have a dog, you love to travel, very safe stuff like that, that's totally fine. In fact, I would suggest you inject a little bit of your personal life in there. It just breathes some life into your website and allows potential clients to get to know you a little bit better. But again, don't go too deep into that stuff, and certainly leave out things like politics and religion. I know that it's really fun to be able to get creative and put your own personal spin on things, but again, you just have to look at it from the client's perspective and understand that they are approaching you with the goal of spending money on your services. So you want them to know that you are an expert, an authority, a professional. And it's really hard to kind of set that standard and that tone when you're treating your website like a personal blog. The second reason freelance writing websites don't work in our favor, this kind of goes along with the first one, but it really deserves its own shout out. Your website is not optimized to sell. It's very tricky to switch into a selling mindset, because for so many of us, we became writers because we had a passion for writing and we wanted to take that passion and turn it into a paycheck. So when we're building our websites, that passion and desire and creativity, that's kind of our driving force. But the problem is very often that doesn't really translate well when we're talking about selling our services. And if you want to make money as a writer, you have to know how to sell your services. Sales is going to become a huge part of what you do, whether you like it or not. I see so many writers, like front and center on the homepage, it'll have their name, and then below that, it'll say, passionate writer, or, passion for the written word. Everyone uses the word passion, and that's great, and it's good to have. The problem is that the client doesn't care if you're passionate, they care if you're good. You can be passionate about something and suck at it. So again, if you want to kind of sneak that into your About Me page, totally fine. But your homepage especially, since that's probably where a lot of people are going to land, needs to be about you as a professional and what kind of services you can provide. And it needs to be optimized to sell. One really good way to approach this actually brings me to my third point. The third mistake that I see a lot of websites making is that they focus on features as opposed to benefits. A feature is what you offer, like the service to the client. So as an example, a feature is SEO and keyword research. The benefit is better rankings in Google and more website traffic. So do you see the difference between the two? The feature is the thing you provide. The benefit is what they get out of it. And that's what they care about. They want to know what they're going to get out of this relationship. When you focus on features, when you say, I'll do SEO and keyword research and this and this and this, that might not speak to them. It might not resonate. They're going to be like, yeah, okay, and what's in it for me? So you need to very clearly convey what's in it for them. When you tell them, I'll help you rank higher in Google and get more website traffic, now you're speaking their language. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't talk about features. Features kind of help illustrate where their money is going. So it's still a great thing maybe on your services page to say, I will do keyword research and I'll optimize the content. That's still good stuff. But in terms of trying to make a really good first impression, always think of answering the question, what's in it for them? The fourth mistake I've seen on a lot of websites is that there's no clear, obvious call to action. I think we all kind of make the assumption that once people visit our website, they'll automatically know what to do next. They don't. Don't make that assumption. You have to literally tell them what to do if you want them to do it. And if you do that, more of them will listen. It sounds so stupid and so simple, but it works. There's actually research on this that shows that blog content, social media posts, emails that contain a call to action convert higher than ones that don't. People are not going to go out of their way to reach out to you and ask for the help they need. They're busy, they're lazy, they're distracted, and they're very impatient. So you need to hand it to them. The fifth mistake freelance writers make with their websites is that their samples are all over the place, covering all kinds of random topics. Hopefully by now you know why it's so important to pick a freelance writing niche, or niche, however you say it. If you're not caught up on this yet, I will link to my video on picking a niche in the top corner. Go watch that right now and start figuring out what niche you want to focus on. Once you have that, or if you have it already, bear in mind, like I said earlier, your blog on your freelance writing website can serve as your portfolio. And you can go there and publish, we'll say 3 to 5 pieces of content just to get you started. And that content should focus on your niche. You're writing random blogs just to give potential clients an example of what you can do. I've talked before, I think on my blog and probably in other videos, that your blog on your freelance writing website, this allows you to have samples to show potential clients even if you have zero experience. This is one of the best things that you can do to help get your career started in the very beginning when you have no experience. Like I said, start with 3 to 5 pieces. 3 should be enough, but they should be geared towards your niche. This is kind of a side note, but it's equally important. Some people will tell you that your whole website should be catered to your niche. In some cases, I could see this working. I don't think you have to have it. And to start, I would suggest you don't. I would suggest you have your blog specific to your niche, but not your whole website. The reason for that is that your niche could very well evolve over time. You could change it. You could add a couple more. I have a few areas that I focus on now. And if you go and you say, I want to be a law writer, a legal writer, and you go and build a whole website dedicated to that, and then it doesn't work out, and a month later you're like, okay, I'm going to be a sports writer next. Then you have to go and redo everything. Having just samples on your blog that are related to your niche is more than enough to get you started. Last one, the last big mistake that writers make with their websites is they give all their rates up front. Everyone's got an opinion on this. I could argue both sides. I don't put my rates on my website, and I'll explain why. People are so sensitive to the price. They're so conscious of the price tag that if you have your rates on your website, there are going to be so many people who see them and run. And the problem here is that many of those people you could convert with just a simple conversation of what they get when they pay you that money. You don't want them to be turned off by the price before you've had a chance to explain what you do, what you offer. There will still be people who will hear your rates and run away. Let them go. You don't want to work with people who are going to argue you on every penny. I have a couple of those clients. They're such a pain in the ass, okay? People are going to want your services for a bargain, of course, why wouldn't they? But you also want to go after clients who understand your worth, understand the value of blog content, and they're fine paying you. They have the budget and they have the interest. Now, what you can do, all that being said, is you can put on your website, my services start at 500, 1,000, whatever. I personally think this is a good way to weed out the people who would never in a million years pay what you want. I have, not so much anymore, but I can remember getting people approaching me and they were asking for me to write for like $200 a month, but like a decent amount of work for $200 or $300 a month. No. So for those people, if they were to go to my website and see that at the minimum they're gonna be paying me 1,000, I wanna weed them out. I don't even wanna talk to them. They're not my ideal client. All right, that was it. Those are the 6 main reasons that freelance writing websites don't work. If this was kind of information overload and you are now looking at your own website and panicking, take a breath. It's okay. All of our websites are a constant work in progress. And even if you come up with something that's perfect now, 6 months from now, it won't be perfect anymore. And you just have to continue evolving. Focus on progress, not perfection. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. If you have any topics you would like to see covered in the future, leave me a comment and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks!